tonight will be the last memory of a champion who was more an artist than an athlete, one of those greats who redrew the boundaries of their respective sport. He saw a game that had been played for over a century and reimagined what was possible. He didn't invent the game, but there were times when it felt as though he had. Fittingly, Roger's last match will be in London, because it was in another part of London, of course, where Roger transformed potential into perfection by winning Wimbledon in 2003, and we have been transfixed by his brilliance ever since. This is everyone's chance to say thank you to a champion who has graced the greatest courts on the globe. Champions on the court to play the match, a champion to toss the coin as well. Stefan Edberg.
Few important reminders. Net sensor, regular change over time, the towel boxes around the corners, and we have Hawkeye, so use your voice, say loud and clear, challenge, okay? 3 minutes warm up. Questions? No shot clock, okay? Okay, so please, Roger. You did. The cup or the trophy? 3 minutes, yeah, 3 minutes, yeah. What is called? Yeah. Yeah, 3 minutes, yeah, 3 minutes, yeah. Sir, so let's take 2 pictures. So the Stefan and then along with the players.
Iconic photos. Francis Tiafoe wanting a last handshake. He is a wonderful person to be a part of this final curtain that will be pulled down at the end of this doubles match. Todd Woodbridge alongside me. It is a huge night for everybody.
It's one of those nights where you reflect on everything that has gone before you, particularly when you're that player, being Roger. There will be a mountain of memories that are flooding back to him right now, and it will be really hard to focus. Any professional athlete that's watching now knows what that feeling is like. You've made that decision somewhere deep in your mind, and it's very hard to really cope with. There will be tears. It's just a matter of when they appear.
Kaleidoscope of memories, of course, for all the Federer fans, and there are millions of them. Alongside, of course, Rafa tonight, and in many ways, arguably the most fitting of finishes to Roger's career, to have his greatest rival next to him in this match.
And 2 minutes.
Well, a couple of minutes left for everybody just to get settled, to savour, to let their minds wander as into what Roger has meant to them personally. And there has been always that sense of a personal connection, which is why tonight seems so significant to us all, Todd.
He's one of those people, not just athletes, that has an aura about them. And the one thing that Roger brings that a lot of special celebrity type people have is he brings this comfort to people, where he makes them feel that they have had a one-on-one experience and know him so personally. And that lady there, that's exactly how she feels. He is the people's player, you could describe him as.
Yeah, if he saw angles where others previously had probably seen straight lines, he glided rather than ran. His strokes had an ethereal quality, and there were moments that he left us so spellbound, we did wonder if he was actually not from this world. He had grace and he had flair, and even his intensity at times, Todd, had a touch of elegance.
He still will have grace, he still will have flair as he moves into another phase of his career too. And what I really have loved about what we've heard from him this week in the lead-up is I'm not going to leave tennis, I'm not going to be a ghost. and going to be somebody that keeps continually giving back, and I think that is the absolute beauty that we will get from him post-career, because he brings everything about the tradition of tennis, and that's what he did at Wimbledon. That's what he loves about that particular tournament, and I think we're very lucky to have, you know, that type of ambassador, the ambassador that he's been as a professional player, and one that will, you know, continue to last. And he's learnt that. He's learnt that from the man that was there at the coin toss, from a man that coached him in Stefan Edberg. You know, and in a time of this world where a lot of time we don't sit back, reflect and understand the values, he brings values to our sport that no other player for many a generation has been able to do.
What a proud moment it must be for Mum and Dad as well. They have been by his side. They have been the ultimate supporters of his career. And he has been a wonderful reflection of them as well throughout all the trials and tribulations. Mary Jo Fernandez, wife of Tony Godset Rogers, agent and a fantastic player in her own right.
You know, I look back quickly at a retirement of my own, and the thing that went through your head, and I'm sure it's gone through, it's the last time, it's the last warm-up, it's the last walkout, it's the last service game, it's all of those things are the
End of warm-up.
Things that are going through Roger's head right now, and right now he has to pull those together. And that's where Rafa's going to have to play a big part to emotionally keep the team understanding there's still a job at hand here tonight.
I can't serve it, the cold hand. Shit. Come on. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Looking forward to it, guys. Let's go. Let's go, Roger. Enjoy.
Well, his hands may be cold, but he is getting an incredible amount of warmth, not just from the supporters, but from some of his greatest competitors and teammates and Team Europe's bench. Team Europe leading on day one of this year's Labour Cup by 2 points to 1 currently.
And first set, Rafael Nadal to serve. Representing Team Europe. Play. Teamwork, change the court. At center service line, the ball is called in. Ball is overturned. Love 15.
Jack Sock, with 3 Grand Slam titles, of course, also owns a bronze medal at the Olympics in doubles with Steve Johnson in Rio.
Net first service.
Rafa, of course, won the gold medal with Mark Lopez there in Rio, and Roger also with a gold medal from the Olympics with Stan Wawrinka.
Love it when people say that tennis players don't like the Olympics and shouldn't belong. The heroes of the sport all have medals, don't they?
Every shot that touches his racket will be cheered to the rafters, and rightly so. It should be mentioned as well, Rafa, who is here, we're not sure how fit he is currently, to be honest. The ab problem that he's had for the last part of the season, not sure if it's cleared up, but he was out there, Todd. We were lucky to see the behind-the-scenes camera. He was working so hard to prepare for this doubles this afternoon. He wants to send Roger out on a high.
Oh,
good is that?
Well, it's all started with a traditional serve and volley, and then just watch the way that Roger moves around the court at the net. He covers all of those right spaces, and then Rafa gets the ball above net height to put away. Perfect.
At 14, 15. Game Team Europe.
May not have the variety on serve at the moment, Rafa, because of the ab problem, but he's got some decent pace there. 121 mile an hour first serve.
He spared me on that one. Yeah. He knew it wasn't my fault.
Todd, you've won every major. You've got a gold medal from Atlanta, a silver in Sydney as well. What is going to be crucial for Jack and Francis tonight?
Well, I mean, Jack is the key player on the court. He has to be the leader. He has to encourage Francis. The issue is, for me, is that you know that Rafa and Roger are going to target Francis whenever he's at net. He's the weaker volleyer. He's the weaker link in that chain. So we'll see how he handles that.
Whoa.
Interesting that as the weaker link, he's decided to serve first here.
Well, look, a lot of doubles is you're only as good as your net man. He's got the net man there, so that's okay. That's not the problem. It's the other way around. It's when Jack serves that they're going to have potentially more trouble.
Quiet. What's on father?
You know, and the other thing that I want to bring up is that Team World have two players that play similar. You know, they rely on their serve and their forehand, that first hit. Jack is more natural at net, has better instincts. But in doubles, you don't want two of the same. You want people that cover strengths and weaknesses, or a left-right combination. So you've got that down the other end. You've got the consistency of Nadal off the first court, and then you've got the shot maker on the second court who'll get the bigger points. But the backhand side where Roger's playing, he's the one that's going to make the plays happen. So that combination, the way they've got it planned, is in their favour. Well, he went for the tight angle. There wasn't a lot of room there. That ball, he just got through the middle, probably wins the point from Rafa.
Game Team World.
Excellent start for Francis. The odd one out in terms of not being able to pick up a doubles title in his career yet out of the other three players on the court. Rafa, who's won 11, his last one coming back in 2016 in Beijing.
Roger Federer to serve.
That was the last time Roger won one as well in Beijing. That in the Olympic points for Stanwierenko. Of course, he picked up his first ever doubles title actually in Rotterdam with somebody you know particularly well, Todd, Jonas Bjorkman.
Yeah. That was the second career path partner of mine. Jonas even took John McEnroe to his last title in Stockholm. He had good partners, didn't he?
He did have good partners. He knew how to pick them, Jonas.
Underrated in terms of a volleyer, Nadal. The improvement throughout his career has just been probably the best part of his improvement. You know, we talk about his serve and his finishing volley, so sound. I think this is our first look at the indication too of Roger's knee and his movement. He's not completely comfortable in serve volleying. Normally in doubles he would be.
Well, has that gone through? If it has gone through, then it doesn't count. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I think it's gone through that gap. Even at the end of Roger's career, he's given us something that we've never seen before. We must be able to see a replay on the big screen here. It does.
I was trying to give it to him.
It was going like wide and then straight in my way.
He might have meant it. If he meant it, we'll give it to him.
There's very few players that could hit that gap though, Todd.
The accuracy.
He's been the inventor, he's now the archer, hitting targets that no one else can even see.
Point to team. Net for service.
Cool.
Again, Team Europe.
One thing's for sure, that the arm is looking very lively for Federer. 2-1.
Precision is there, buddy. it wasn't meant to be, but wow.
I didn't see it at all.
Never happened. Us either. But my eye was still good. I saw that it went through. Or it must have been. Look at this.
It was funny. It was like, what's the rule? Wow.
Well, the rule should be the ball goes there, it would lose the point. It would lose the point, for sure.
Almost impossible to slip it through that particular gap. Mohammedani was pretty short, and finally we got the replay. But an excellent game of serving from Roger.
Let's go, guys. Let's go. Come on, let's go.
Red time.
Well, the celebration continues at every changeover and every even walk back. Rafa and Roger at the back of the court. Jack Sock to try and open his account on serve.
Love 15.
So here we go. Here's what I spoke about on the Tiafoe serve. This is where the pressure will come for Team World. And we'll see what Tiafoe can bring at net.
Oh, there.
Right play, just overplayed from Roger.
Two of the biggest forehands on tour out on court tonight with Rafa and, of course, Jack Sox as well. And that was just brutal from the American.
Just a bit too close to the net. Rafa there had no time really to react. You can see their front on feet were planted too wide apart.
And 14, 15.
Yeah, a little laugh on his face there. In the olden days, he would have volleyed that. One of the most graceful movers, most efficient movers. He worked so hard on that away from the cameras as well. He made it look effortless because of the effort he put in prior to that.
Game, Team World.
Well, there may just be some opportunities there for Team Europe. Not that time around, though. One of the other greatest doubles players of all time, Johnny Mack.
2 games all.
Well, we knew they were special when they first stepped onto court, when they battled early on in their career. Little did we know that we would be standing here today on the verge of Roger's retirement, but they would be sitting with 42 Grand Slam singles titles between them.
Love 15.
And there is the example of a miss from time away. There's no reason for him to miss that. He still made the middle of the racket, just catching it a little late.
Fifteen-all. Net first service.
They don't do this too often. Little communications breakdown.
playing eye there, one of the key things about playing eye is you're trying to serve to a certain part of your opponent's game to get them to hit the least or their less favourite return. So, you're really working out, trying to get a ball into a certain position, A, for the netman to put it away, or then get the error off the return like that. Good hands there.
40-15.
And you can see, so good in preparation where the racket head was out in front. That allowed the ability just to be able to move ever so slightly, pick up that, but huge speed off the forehand.
103-mile-an-hour return from Jack Sock. The pace, as Roger's shown us throughout the course of his career, isn't the only thing you need. Guile, flair, inspiration, of which he has had plenty of. It's a 3-2 lead for Team Europe.
Let's go. Roger, let's go. Good ball, exactly.
Swiss wall there, man. Boom.
I feel like we will get chances on the returns.
Yeah.
You know, like it's too easy to return here somehow, you know? Like I don't feel it's too bouncy, crazy. If you get second serve, you will have your chance.
On the second serve, it looks like you have time.
Yeah. I mean, he's running around against the left.
We had these 2 points with 15-30 there in that with my miss, and then in the 15 I make a good return and then good luck.
And I think also
then
the second serve I can do better. I mean, I didn't win 1 point. If I win 1,
both of you at the net against 3 or 4 at the back is pretty good.
And I think also when Jack serves, you can easily hit that Francis if we're both back.
When Jack serves? Yeah.
I mean, he's not close, so he will not clean it, you know. He will make it.
Yeah, the only thing that here the ball stays very low. Not touching but the ball kept, look, that volley.
He needs to miss 1, 2, 3 and then he will feel it.
Let's go.
Said every time, but there's so many things to admire about this concept. Of course, what we've had this week in terms of the Big Four all playing on the same time. As we take a look outside, here we are in southeast London looking over towards Canary Wharf, but all eyes inside the Millennium Dome. And the chat that's going on the Team Europe bench between Rafa and Roger, and just amplifying what we've been saying, they're going to get chances on return. That's exactly what they believe. Is it going to be in this game? Certainly a good time in Francis Tiafoe's life at the moment. Semi-finals in the singles of the US Open. What a run that was.
And there's the man they're going to target. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 towards him and not to Jack Sock. He has to be prepared for that.
15
in that changeover, there was a lot of tactic talk going on from Team Europe, and one of them from Roger was that, look, if you keep going there, he's got a bit of space and make him play as many as we can.
$30, 15.
move again from Rafa. Just missed a couple forehand volleys, trying to be a little too cute with them. But at the same time, he's reading the play well.
A little thing that Rafa does when you watch him on the court is when he hits his volleys, he actually moves his hand up the racket a little bit to try and get a little more control of those volleys. Often see players shifting their hands up their racket when they go to hit the volley, but he is one of those rare breeds.
Stop. Teamwork, change the court. Right service line, what is called in.
Well, he looked very confident at the start. He looks like he's lost a little bit of that veneer right now.
Well, it was a good confident call for Mohammed in the chair. There he is, Mohammed Leani.
So return. Again, teamwork.
Francis, another player that has a lot of charm and a lot of magnetism as well.
3 games on.
Soccer champion here in 2018 with Mike Bryan at the World Tour Finals. A wonderful week for him and a year. Picked up 6 doubles titles that year, including the US Open and Wimbledon. The competitive juices also, as we see Rafa nod that one away. In fact, tennis is probably his second or maybe even his third best sport individually. If you've ever seen him play soccer, he is exceptional, and he's pretty decent at golf as well. Nice of him to give people in those sports a bit more of a chance.
Well, it's an interesting tactic from Francis. You know, 2 hits and then just drill it at the guy at net. Now, Rafa's missed a couple. He's been a bit too close. He in my opinion, should just go back 1 foot, 2 foot more, just give himself a bit more time to get his hands out in front. Then I think it's very dangerous from Francis to keep up with that play.
Well, he's smiling, but I tell you, at the last changeover, the competitive juices were flowing, weren't they, for Federer? He was smelling the win. He was sensing the opportunity. You would imagine that this one goes out wide to the Jack shot backhand. Rafa will cover the line. It's a favoured return of Jack. The backhand down the line from that side. Doesn't get as much on it cross court. That's where he was heading. Just missed his target. The beauty of doubles right there. Great reactions from Team World, trying to keep them in the point, but Rafa finally achieves the aim, and it's a 4-3 lead in the opening set for Team Europe.
Best 200 backhand volley in the business. unbelievable when you don't play doubles, how slow you are on the net.
You have two hands on the backhand ball.
Well, because I don't have time. I don't see anything.
Do you feel the break here?
I feel it.
New balls?
With the new balls.
Yeah, I feel it.
Make a statement, make a statement. I have an amazing feeling.
He feels it as well.
And you know this guy's from the US Open.
Taking the shirts out.
Up on the big screen is a gentleman, as they rightly say, from the US Open, who gets them involved. The shirt will be coming off. That'll do. What an atmosphere.
He has to go naked at the end. He has to.
They've flown him in specially from the US Open, and you can see the crowd responding. He's had 11 RF shirts on. And it's vintage RF t-shirt right at the end. What a celebration of this man's incredible career.
Now we've got to focus on the tennis again.
That might have just been the interlude that just distracts somebody like Jack Sock for a moment here. He's got the new balls.
Now he opens with a double for the second time on serve.
And as much as they should help him in terms of pace through the court, if Federer and Nadal can get a couple of returns back into play here, they could put a little bit of pressure on Team World. That one's not coming back.
It's already on eBay.
Get the board, please. Oh. And 15.
Good change up on the serve there, the kick serve. Taking Roger out wide, all he could deliver was the lob. Lob, not a bad thing in doubles. One of my favourite shots, in fact, but on that occasion, not deep enough.
He's got lovely touch.
And that's where he's improved immensely over the past 2 years. It was such a big difference in his run at the US Open, what he was able to do with finishing points at net, with confidence and with new feel, because that feel wasn't always there. Credit his coach Wayne Ferreira for really putting a plan together to improve his game, and it's been a steady incline, and that's what you want to see.
Francis, of course, delivering Rafa his only loss in Grand Slam tennis this year. A couple of titles, of course, in Australia in the French semis he pulled out of against Nick Kyrgios, but again, has to be said that he was undermined by that ab injury, really couldn't serve as well as he had been up until that point.
And 30 love.
No one really being able to deliver much on the return, are they? It's where you've got to start to build pressure just by getting that ball into play so that you can start to work some tactics. I've talked about who you want to target, but you can't do it if you don't get that ball back, and they're the key parts, particularly first point of a game. I was always taught from a young kid, on the first point, your job is just to get the ball back in play, no matter how, and make the ball over the net. Sometimes it doesn't have to be brilliant. It was interesting in that changeover when Rafa said, you know, when you haven't played doubles for so long, how quick it feels out there. There's no time. And that was one of those moments there for Roger too. That ball didn't have that much on it, but he didn't have the reaction that you would normally expect. There's that return that you spoke about. You've got to cover the line on the backhand from Jack Sock. Roger went looking here to the middle. There was a big gap, wasn't there? There was no planning, so Rafa wasn't covering.
Yeah, Roger was hoping he was. Look at where he moves to. He ducks down. He wonders if his partner's going to be able to scrape that one back over the top of him. Potential trouble on the Nadal serve.
Well played. Well played, Francis. He took the ball early, got net position, and look, statistics say you get 2 men at the net, the odds are better. So first break point of the night.
And 30-40.
There's a few fans in here that haven't seen Jack Sock move. They thought that point was definitely over. He was not a million miles away from it. Deceptively quick.
So what a good serve. Tied Jack Sock up, didn't give him a chance to get a lot of swing on the return.
Advantage, Team Europe.
Classy end to the game from Federer. Found the space where neither of the two Americans were, and they scrambled to safety. 5-4 ahead.
Kom igen nu, kungen.
We cannot. I just feel like we cannot be scared to hit the ball. You know,
No.
we don't want to miss like pushing the ball.
I don't know what you guys feel, but maybe just an extra shot when TF4 is back. Maybe you'll Russian to change to Jack. Yeah. Because, I mean, he's solid, but not that solid. You know what I mean? Like, put some pressure on the back to make the ball.
Shot to Jack, you said?
No, to Francis. Now he's serving when he's at the back.
So don't
make him play. Make him play.
I make a mistake in the first point.
No, it's fine.
Or if we go to, maybe we hit to Francis and we go to the net.
Yeah. Just make him play an extra shot. You know?
That's a good play. Let's go. Let's go, guys. This one. Let's go.
Well, hopefully you were with her at the change of end, but once again some lovely insight from the players behind the bench, particularly Novak there, feeling as though they need to make Francis play an extra shot here, or whether Rafa can get in a little bit quicker after the return.
Okay, here we go.
Top 15.
The tactic they talked about, which is one that I would give a big tick to, is if they get a second or third ball, he get in together at Francis on the baseline and put pressure on coming up with some sort of a passing shot. Can't do much about that.
15-0.
Slightly unorthodox motion, but you would take the outcome every time. Gosh, that's unlucky. It's amazing how he can change in doubles, though, to take the ball early on the return compared to where he likes to stand, of course, for singles, isn't it? It's not easy to adapt your swing to try and shorten it that much.
But that's one of the things that he worked on, using doubles to get better at. You know, early in the season on clay, he played a couple of doubles tournaments almost every year, just to work on return positioning, in my mind, to get ready for grass courts later in the season. Ah, that's brilliant. The art of doubles is being able to absorb power and create openings, and he did both right here. This is the absorbing power, short backswing, and then using the delicate, soft spinning off forehand. Touch of class. It's a bad miss. This is the right move.
On the back of that miss, Johnny might be wanting to lace them up, get himself back out there. He's just lost the ball there, hasn't he? This time, Nadal's return catches the line. And a Team Europe going to catch fire right at the end of this opening set.
That was a crisp volley.
Advantage. Team Europe.
And it's a set point. And we reminisce about all the memorable moments that Federer produces his best tennis on the biggest of points, and he's done it there on the set point. And in a set of tennis that could have gone either way, it ultimately ends up with Team Europe taking it by 6 games to 4. there's more to come potentially from Team World. You feel this has certainly not done 50% of the job done for Team Europe.
Can't play much more. All right, we got a little caught up in the hoopla, man. Let's try to win this thing. I mean, it's a beautiful thing, but it'd be even better if we won.
Well, he's not wrong, is he, Todd?
No, he's exactly right. And you talked about competitive juices. That's what flows in his veins. And, you know, they might have got caught up in the hoopla, but doubles is about 1 or 2 misses and momentum changes. And that volley from Jack that he had on his racket, that he looks like he lost sight of the ball, that's what hurt.
Yeah, there were some nice moments in there, some good examples of just what Rafa and Roger bring to a double score. They're not quite as sharp as they would normally be, we know that. But Jack Sock saying that perhaps he can't play much worse. He's expecting more of himself. And it's going to be a great tussle as we head towards the second set here. There's a lovely saying from Peter Beagle, who's an American novelist, who said, great heroes need great sorrows and burdens, or half their greatness goes unnoticed. And I think we can say that about Rafa through the injuries, also through Roger's injuries over the years as well. The Renaissance, Todd, comes to mind in 2017. There were some wilderness years in terms of picking up majors. He came back in 2017. No one gave him a chance. He's a breakdown in the fifth against his doubles partner today to go on and win that Australian Open. It was unbelievable.
And in the team press conference, Rafa talked about that as he was asked about the memorable matches, and you know, they were